What's happening, guys? It's your buddy Grizz, and even though this video has basically no relevance at all due to the fact that barely anybody plays this game on PC anymore, I wanted to bring to everyone's attention the most useless piece of equipment I think I've ever seen in a video game ever. Hardline's new night vision goggles. These things really suck. So Hardline released a free DLC pack that included two new, well, that's not entirely accurate, new versions of two old maps. Basically, all they did was convert Bank Job and Backwoods into night maps, added the night vision goggles, and called it a DLC. Now, while I do applaud them for putting this out to every single player for free, if you're gonna take the time to make night maps and give us night vision goggles to use on said night maps, then at least make them worth a shit. Honestly, guys, these things are terrible. They don't help you whatsoever. In fact, I find them to be more of a hindrance than being any form of help at all. Like, look at this shit. Does this not hurt your eyes to look at? I'm staring at this green screen and I can barely even tell where the wall ends to peek around a corner. Enemies are not lit up very well at all, and they're almost harder to see. Like, I didn't see that guy at all. They're almost harder to see when you have the goggles on than when you don't. I hopped on and played a few games last night to try out these night maps, and I will say that they did like, it's so hard to see people with these things on. Ugh. I will say that they did do a halfway decent job on converting the actual maps to nighttime. I will say that, but man, the goggles are just so shit, it's unbelievable. I died so many times to guys that were in my field of view, but I just didn't see them at all until it was way too late, because they don't stand out at all from the rest of the unappealing green mass that is your screen when you're wearing these pieces of shit. What I don't understand is why they would have night vision goggles that don't help at all in the environment they were made for. Night. Darkness. Enemies show up as a slightly lighter shade of green than everything else, but that's not enough for them. That's not enough for them to be any of an advantage at all. I think it's really stupid that they didn't make these things better. They're so incredibly situational that you'll never have any reason to use them on any other map other than the night maps. I guess you could make the case for that they might be helpful a little bit on Grow House, but after playing with them for a few rounds, I don't even think they'll help at all. Okay, so here's like a perfect example of how shitty these things are. So you can turn them on and off, obviously, by pushing 3 or 4 or whatever slot you have them set to. When you turn them back on, there is like a 2-second, maybe 1-second period where you're blind, but look at this. Look how hard those guys are to see. Like, this thing doesn't help at all. It's ridiculous. There are also some minor glitches with the goggles too, like if you get into a chopper with them equipped, your vision will be through the goggles the entire time you're flying. You can switch to the chase camera and see regularly for a second, but as soon as you switch back to the cockpit view, you can't see anything again. It makes it insanely hard to see the trees in Backwoods, so flying a helicopter with night vision goggles is definitely not a good idea. Normally you can switch the goggles off like earlier, just by pushing 3 or 4, like I said, whatever slot you have them set to, but in the chopper, no dice. You're stuck with the night vision unless you physically land and get out of the chopper and turn them off before getting back in, which is just, like, who wants to do that? That's ridiculous. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, that the night vision goggles are useless. Don't waste your money on them if you're saving up for something else. They're just not worth it. I'm really disappointed because I thought they were going to function like an IRNV site with the enemies popping out in yellow, making them a lot easier to spot. And I think they should give you that advantage, because if you choose to run with these goggles, they are taking up an equipment slot, so you have to give up a piece of kit you'd normally run, like the defibs or breaching charges. But alas, they do not pop up yellow like the IRNV site. And you're much better off using an actual IRNV sight on your weapon than using these things. In fact, you're probably even better off using a flashlight, because everybody runs either the IRNV or FLIR optics on these maps, so the flashlight actually could give you an advantage. You'd be able to blind all these people using these sights for once. Anyway, that's pretty much all I really have to say about that. Is just leave them off. Like in this clip here, look, I see this guy no problem, and I'm not wearing the night vision goggles, so they really don't do much to help you guys. I do have something, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about the goggles short video today. I do have something I want to mention though. I wouldn't expect any videos from me this weekend because I'm going to be attending a big gaming event here in Halifax this weekend called Frag for Cancer. This is pretty much the largest gaming event in Atlantic Canada, and I know that's probably not saying much, but still, we don't get too many gaming events out this way, so for this one to be held in the city I live in, I figured I should probably go check it out. They've been doing this event for quite a few years now, and this year will be the first time I've attended, so I'm really looking forward to it, really looking forward to seeing what it's all about. There will be teams competing across multiple games and platforms. Some of the games include Hearthstone, Smash Brothers, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, and of course League of Legends. Now, I'm just going as a spectator, but what I'm thinking of doing is making a sort of a short film about my experience or about the event over the weekend. I'm gonna try to anyway. I've been dabbling in some shooting live footage lately, so I want to try this out. I want to try to make a little movie about Frag for Cancer. So I probably won't post any videos this weekend, but if you're interested in keeping up to date with what I'm doing at the event over the weekend, I'm going to be tweeting pictures and stuff probably the whole time, so make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link is in the description. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out, or if it's going to turn out at all, but I'm going to shoot the footage all weekend and try to make a little short film about the event. I hope it turns out anyway. But that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Sorry if it was a little short, but I will hopefully have something awesome for you guys at the beginning of next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you hate the night vision goggles as much as I do, make sure you pound that like button on your way out. And as always, if you're new to the channel, then I cordially invite you to become my buddy and hit that subscribe button. My name's Grizz, and I'll see you all next week with hopefully something really awesome. Toodles!
You hear me?